Welcome back to The Explainer. I am so thrilled you're here today because we're looking at something incredibly simple, yet honestly, profoundly impactful for your daily well-being. Okay, let's dive into this. Today's Explainer is focused on a super simple, entirely free health upgrade. We aren't talking about some complicated new fitness routine or, a strict 12-step diet plan. We're looking at water. But not just any water. We're looking at why you might need to totally rethink the temperature of what's in your glass.
Be honest with me for a second. When you wake up, are you reaching for a cold glass of water first thing in the morning? It's almost a universal habit, isn't it? I mean, we crave that ice-cold shock to wake us up, especially those of us completely addicted to iced coffees in the dead of winter. But what if I told you that this deeply ingrained morning ritual might actually be working against your body's natural waking processes? Stick with me because by the end of this explainer, I might just change that habit forever.
Here is our core thesis for today. The ultimate, completely free health hack is just warm water and a little heat. That's literally it. You don't need fancy supplements, you don't need expensive powders, and you definitely don't need highly marketed wellness products. Just water heated up. So, to really understand why this is so wildly powerful, we're going to take an inside-out tour of the human body, looking exactly at how this simple shift in temperature interacts with your biological systems.
All right, so our tour starts deep inside the body, deep internal, digestion, gut health and smoother processes. Honestly, good overall health begins right here in the digestive system, and temperature plays a way bigger role than you might think. When you drink warm water, it acts as this amazing catalyst, switching on your digestive enzymes and relaxing those intestinal muscles. But contrast that with cold water. Cold water can actually cause the fats and oils in the food you've just eaten to literally solidify and harden in your gut. So if you frequently feel bloated or kind of sluggish after meals, well, that ice water habit is very likely the culprit. Swapping to warm water, especially in the morning on an empty stomach, is the solution. Your gut will absolutely thank you for it.
Let's move right along to our next system. Deep internal, detoxification, flushing out the system naturally. And listen, when I say detox, please just forget all those expensive, heavily marketed juice cleanses. We are talking about the body's powerful built-in filters.
Because warm water slightly raises your internal temperature, it triggers a really gentle sweat, which is your body's primary way to naturally flush toxins right through the skin. Beyond that, it's an absolute powerhouse for your internal filters. It powerfully supports your kidneys and your lymphatic system in clearing out waste, keeping all those fluids moving smoothly without any added strain. Think of warm water as the ultimate zero-cost detoxifying agent.
So how do we actually put this into practice? Here is a brilliant morning detox habit in 3 super simple steps. Step 1, wake up. Step 2, pour a glass of warm water. Step 3, add a squeeze of fresh lemon. Why the lemon? Well, that combination activates your liver. It boosts your body's bioproduction, and it essentially kicks all of your detox pathways into high gear, all before you've even had a single bite of breakfast. That one simple routine can make a massive, noticeable difference in your energy levels throughout the entire day.
Zooming out from the gut and the organs, let's look at the body as a whole. Systemic, circulation, and pain relief. The internal flow. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how temperature acts as an incredibly powerful tool for your blood vessels. Think about taking a warm bath for sore muscles, right? It relaxes them by expanding your blood vessels externally. Drinking warm water does this exact same thing, but internally, which perfectly explains this quote right here. Works almost like an internal hot water bottle. It dilates your blood vessels to deliver way more oxygen and vital nutrients directly to your tissues. So if you suffer from menstrual cramps, muscle aches, or, tension headaches, it actively relaxes the very muscles causing those spasms. It's a completely natural, zero side effect remedy for easing discomfort.
Continuing our systemic view, let's look at your daily energy burn. Systemic, boosting metabolism, the natural calorie burn. Drinking warm water gives your metabolism a gentle, entirely natural boost.
Here's the really fascinating science behind this. When you drink water that is warmer than your baseline body temperature, your body actually has to expend a small amount of energy just to process it. This naturally burns extra calories while you're completely at rest. How cool is that? And beyond the calorie burn, warm water naturally suppresses your appetite. It makes you feel fuller, so you inherently eat less without having to rely on sheer willpower. It even actively aids the body in breaking down fat deposits and flushes out the byproducts of fat metabolism. And timing is a huge factor here, 20 to 30. That's the exact number of minutes you want to aim for. If you drink a glass of warm water about 20 to 30 minutes before a meal, you're setting up your digestive system for absolute success.
It's a remarkably small habit, but when you combine it with a balanced diet, this precise timing yields very real, measurable results for long-term weight management.
All right, we've covered the internal and the systemic, so let's finish up our inside-out tour right on the surface. External, glowing skin and healthy hair, the visible benefits.
Because warm water improves your systemic blood flow, all that highly oxygenated blood reaches your skin and scalp, basically acting as a powerful, built-in beauty routine. It flushes out acne-causing toxins to prevent breakouts, it provides deep cellular hydration that naturally plumps away those fine lines, and it even stimulates your hair follicles while drastically reducing dandruff and scalp dryness. It literally gives you a natural, radiant glow that no makeup could ever fake. So it really forces a pretty important question. Before you spend a fortune on expensive topical serums and hair care products, are you actually drinking enough warm water?
So the crucial point is how we take all of this fascinating information and apply it immediately. How to start today, practical steps for your new habit. You know, it's incredibly easy to understand the science, but the real magic happens when we actually build the routine. Just look at the massive return on investment from this one entirely cost-free habit. Better digestion, daily detoxification, increased circulation and natural pain relief, genuine support for weight management, and of course, glowing skin and healthy hair. You are getting a complete full-body upgrade just by turning the temperature dial on your tap. Here are your final practical instructions to implement this right now. Drink 1 to 2 glasses first thing in the morning. But please, and this is a very important safety warning here, keep it comfortably warm, not too hot. You absolutely do not want to burn your mouth or your esophagus. Comfortably warm is the absolute sweet spot. And from there, just try sipping warm or room temperature water throughout the rest of your day instead of always going back to the ice cubes. So what about you? Are you a warm water or a cold water person? I highly encourage you to swap the cold for the warm for just a few days and pay really close attention to your digestion, your energy levels, and your skin. I'll leave you with this final provocative thought. If a massive full-body upgrade is quite literally flowing from your tap for free, what other expensive, heavily marketed wellness myths are we buying into every single day? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I will see you next time.